Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday, and welcome to another live episode of Finding Up with Special Needs. I'm Lola Aneke, and I'm super excited to be with you again today. I hope you've learned so far quite a number of things about special needs. Last week, which was episode 18, we talked about assessment, results, comprehension, and use. And if you missed out on that episode, please go to my YouTube channel and type episode 18 of Finding Out with Special Needs. Today, and in the season of Valentine, the spirit of Valentine, last Friday, which happened to be 14th of February, was Valentine, and I know a lot of people are still in that Valentine mood. And guess what? I'm very coincidentally really. So today's topic is love and disability, and for me, it's a very beautiful topic. And like it's always tied to something. So last Friday was my topics are always tied to something that I experienced or I just think of. And for me, these are very real and genuine topics because it has to do with what individuals with disability are living with. So today's topic on episode 19 of Finding Out with Special Needs is love and disabilities. And the reason why I put that together is because why I tagged this topic, love and disabilities, because on Friday and before Friday, the social media was buzzing with everything love and everything about Valentine. And I mean it's a good one. We all celebrated it. We got flowers, we got gifts, we had getaways, and lots of at my center, which is the Dewdrops Community Center for Special Needs and the Cadet Academy. We exchanged gifts. We had chocolates. We got lots of. We were in red. It was the season just to share love and show that we care for one another. And of course, married couples had lovely times and time together with their loved ones. And then those who are engaged in a relationship. Such a lovely celebration on Friday for everyone, I believe. And I just sat down and I was thinking of individuals with disability, and I'm like, I wonder what's going on with these individuals. And coincidentally, on Friday, I met this beautiful young lady who is the Miss Nigeria, Miss Deaf Nigeria. I forgot how it's tagged, but she's a lady who is deaf, and she happened to be the the beauty queen for the deaf community in Nigeria, which for me was a big deal. I interacted with her, and she's such a smart, confident lady. Her name is Maria. I'll tag her, and so you can find her on social media at the comments section of this video. And I said to myself, I didn't ask her this, but she was one of the people I saw on Friday, and I saw quite a number of people also. And I was wondering, are these individuals really do they celebrate Valentine? If they do, what does love mean to them? What do people see as love to them? And that was what brought this topic. I also thought of other individuals with disabilities who might want to be in a relationship, might want to be married, or wanted to experience love on that day, but because of prejudice and discrimination, they don't get to experience this. And I'm like, let's look at the topic of love and disability. And the only ways I could come up with something really reasonable, or the reasonable points, were looking at the kind of love that we generally talk about in the world. So there are 4 major kinds of love, and I'm going to be talking about that. Remember again, is episode 19 of love of Finding Out with Special Needs, and our topic is love and disability in the spirit of Valentine. And did I say happy Valentine earlier on? It's still the spirit of Valentine, so happy Valentine Day, weekend to you all. So back to our topic, love and disability. There are 4 major kinds of love. So when I'm talking about love, let's not just think of it as, because it's Valentine, we need to talk about love. And of course, even if it's Valentine, there are different kind of love that we could be celebrating. The love between a mother and a child, the love between a husband and a wife, the love between friends, the love between brothers, So I thought to look at that in relations to individuals living with disability. And the first kind of love I'm going to be talking about is the storge. So it's a Greek word, spelled STORGE, and it's like an empathy bond. I'm bringing it back into disability. What I did, and I'm not blowing my trumpet really. I said if I'm going to talk about this, I need to practice what I preach. So on Friday, which happened to be Valentine's Day, I thought, okay, what way could you reach out to individuals with disabilities? And of course, what better ways than to reach out to the kids, the children at my center. And one of the things I did to show that I genuinely love them, and to show that I empathize with them, and I love them in the spirit of Valentine's Day. I got each child a gift, each child at the center a gift, and the reason was that we can't keep talking and talking without performing, without action. So I said to myself, Lola, yes, there's so much to be done. I mean, you put a lot into it, but you still have to spend. I have to spend. We say you have to spend and ready to. You have to spend and ready to be spent. Yes, I've been spent, but then I need to spend. So in between I wasn't feeling too well last week. In between trying to rest and trying to be sure that my kids at the center experience genuine love and the kind of empathy, this J kind of love. I went out there, got things for these children just to show that I genuinely love them, and I know that it's Valentine. They need to experience it. A lot of people would forget about this set of individuals living with disability and just feel that, what, they don't matter. Let me give back to those that will understand what love is, so that I can get love. And I know that the most genuine kind of love is the one that you give without expecting nothing. That is a God kind of love. So I think I'm jumping to the agape love already. But then I wanted the kids, I wanted them to understand that we taught them the essence of giving, of love, which was we made sure we taught them what it means to love their fellow their friends, how to share and all of that. But I said beyond that, I needed to show that I had this J kind of love with them, the empathy kind of love. And on Friday, I think I did the little I could to ensure that each child went home with a gift in the spirit of Valentine. So empathy, and I always say to people, empathy is different. Empathy is different from sympathy. Sympathy is more like in this part of the world we say, hey, yeah, the child cannot talk, he is not working, he can't use his word. No, empathy simply means that I know what is going on and I'm ready to work with you through what is going on. I'm not going to be feeling sorry for you or make you feel sorry for yourself. I'm going to do everything within my power to help you find alternative means to be able to do that thing that you're struggling with. So that's the J kind of love. Now, and this could occur within different kind of in different kind of relationship. So it could take place from within friends, even people in relationship, like mutual relationship. It could take place among husband and wife. It could take place among colleagues. It could take place in different kind of relationship. So for me, I just chose to use that as an example, that I empathize with you, I understand what's going on, but I still want to share what Valentine means to me, and I'm willing to share with my children with special needs. Of course, I didn't get anything back from them, but that wasn't the spirit for me. The spirit was that, yes, you might not be getting gifts today because you are living with a disability or you are living with special needs, but it doesn't matter. I know, I empathize with you, and I'm going to make sure you experience all that it takes for you to to enjoy what Valentine's Day is all about. And of course, the teachers got chocolates, and we actually enjoyed Valentine together as a community and as friends. The second kind of love I want to talk about today is the filial, which is a friend bond kind of love. It's called the filial, and it occurs among friends, and it's like a brotherly love. So maybe for example, I have this friend who, I'm just giving a typical example. So, and remember, I'm tying it together with disabilities, because most times we just tend to do things for people, we tend to show love to people who are like us, who will feel would be able to reciprocate or would understand what it is and will feel what is it for me if I share with someone that don't understand, particularly individual with special needs or with disabilities. So like I said earlier on, the kind of love I'm going to talk about are the four kind of love that I know, that I generally know, which is Storge kind of love. The Storge is a Greek word called Storge, and I'll give an example about that. Then the filial love, which is the brotherly love, the kind of love that you watch your brother, you can watch your brother's back even in his absence, and someone says things about your brother, you're like, no, it's not Kemi. Kemi wouldn't do that. I know who Kemi is, and I can stand and vouch for Kemi that Kemi would not steal your money. Kemi would not say such negative things about you. And the same thing also would be and is applicable to individuals with disabilities. We need to, I say to people in art, in the disability field space, I say to them, look, we need to know who our friends, we need to know our individuals with disabilities so well that if someone says to you that this person did this, you'll be able to say, no, it's not that child, or it's not that individual, it's not that young adult. For who I know, this person that I know would never do that. So that kind of love, let me go biblical on you right now, the kind of love that David and Jonathan had, such that when Jonathan's father was going to kill hunting David, he wouldn't even let that happen to David. Jonathan wouldn't let that happen to David, and that's the same kind of love I'm thinking that we could have for individuals with disability. So while we're thinking of Valentine next year, or even the one that has just passed, so for me, I believe love can be celebrated any day. If you have not found somebody living with disability that you've not shown love to, or you have not you've not ever thought of it, that how can I show love or the spirit of Valentine to individual disability? Think of it this way, and look for the best way you can, either the Storge kind of love or the filial kind of love, where you get to know this person so well. One of the episodes I had on Finding Out with Special Needs was about a woman who had a child. It's actually a book called Out of My Mind. This woman has a child living with cerebral palsy, and she had this neighbor who knew this child so well, who understood how this child learned and how the child could communicate, and taught the child a lot of ways in which the child could communicate and be able to learn to read and write. And she was so good with this child that even when the mother could not understand, or could not understand what the child was trying to express or communicate, this neighbor would come in and show the mother the ways to go about it. And for me, there's no better way to show that kind of love, better way to show that this person loves the child. She went out of her way to teach the child the way to read and write. She got flashcards, she got the computer just to ensure that this child could learn, and she would speak for this child. When people say, oh, this child did, you say, no, I know that this child, you might not understand the way she communicates, but I know she wouldn't do this to you. So those are kind of ways we could show love to individuals with disability on different levels. So we've talked about the Storge kind of love, we talked about the filial kind of love. Another love that I would want to talk about is the agape kind of love, the charitable kind of love, the unconditional kind of love, such that even when you're with a person with disability, probably the person is truly, that because I understand what this disability is, and I know that it's not contagious, it's not infectious, and so nothing's gonna happen to me, even if I decide to help clean the drool out of the person's chin or the cheeks. So it has to be unconditional. We can't say, oh, I love everyone, and then we're not expressing towards our individuals living with disability. So we have to be very practical in the ways we talk about love. Yes, so we don't want to just be on one side. We want to be sure that everyone in the society, every human being, experience love irrespective of that disability status. So I thought to talk about this topic this week, and I've talked about the Storge kind of love, I've talked about the filial kind of love, and I've also talked about the agape, which is on the unconditional love. Each time, and we talk about love, I'm a Christian, and the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, what is love? Love is love holds no grudge. So if love holds no grudge, love is kind, it's patient, it's forgiven. You know, the part of the Holy Book that says these three things abound, and love, faith, love, and hope. Above, love is the greatest of them all. That's the kind of love I'm talking about today. And that's the agape kind of love for individual disability, the charitable kind of love. We don't want the kind of love where you want to say, okay, I know that I'm supposed to love individuals with disability, and then we make it like a social media kind of fun fair where you want to, you just want to show off. So you get children with special needs or individual disability, lots of gifts, and you want to take picture to show that I gave them noodles, I gave them pillows, I gave them clothing. It's not that kind of love we're talking about. We want a kind of love that they can never repay you. And I always say to people, individuals with disabilities are those that the kind of people that you can show love to, that they will never be able to repay you, and the only reward you'll be getting will be from above, you know. So that's the kind of love I'm thinking. And when I'm talking about individuals with disability and love, let's show that we care. Let's bring in the Disability Act that was for persons with disability, discrimination against individuals with disability act, that says that we must include them, inclusivity in all that we do. So if we think about them genuinely, and if we love individuals with disability genuinely, we'll find ways to accommodate them in our classrooms. We'll find ways to accommodate them in our buildings, in our architectural buildings. We'll find ways to accommodate them in accessing the curriculum, accessing the building of our schools, our public spaces. We'll find ways of accommodating them in the transportation system, in the tools we use for the airways, the waterways, the landways, if I must say that. So in the spirit of Valentine and talking about love, how best can we love individuals with disabilities? And this, I'm just thinking of ways like we could think of including them when we're celebrating Valentine next week. And like I said earlier, it's not too late to think of what things you could do to ensure that we extend our love to individuals living with disabilities. And of course, let me just bring it back, because I know I'm talking about love, and I've talked about three kind of love, which is the Storge kind of love, the Filios kind of love, the Agape kind of love. I'm going to go to the last, which is the Eris kind of love. But before I go into the Eris kind of love, I want to talk about disabilities. For those of us who might not be familiar with what disability is, it simply means an inability to do something, and there are various kind of disability. We have the sane ones and the unseen ones. We have physical disabilities, so we have the visually impaired, we have the deaf, or the hearing impaired. We have individuals living with physical disabilities. We have individuals, and when I talk about physical disability, we have those that have orthopedic issue. They have to use wheelchair, or they have to use crutches, or they have to use they need help. They need the assistive technology to be able to move, for movement. And we also have those disabilities like learning disability that I'm saying. We have dyslexia, dysgraphia, we have dyscalculia, learning disability. We have communication disorder. We have those who cannot speak. We have those living with autism. We have those living with Down syndrome. We have those living with emotional disturbances. We have those living with other health impairments, such as sickle cell anemia. We have those living with albinism. So there are several kind of disabilities, and the only way you can understand these disabilities is getting to know what disabilities are, the signs, the symptoms, understanding the causes, and understanding that sympathy does not work for these individuals. Most times we always say that when you have individuals with disabilities, always good to communicate with them, to understand what it is they're going through, and know how to ask, how to provide help for them. So you don't just say a person who is on a wheelchair and just keep thinking the person cannot think for himself or cannot speak for himself. And the only way you can avoid that is to be able to find out what is going on, either from the person or reading about it. And depending on the kind of the relationship you have with this person, the closer you are to the person, the easier it is for the person to explain to you what he or she is going through. But like I always say, what one person living with a particular disability is going through is not the same thing as what another individual living with disability is going through. So for example, someone living with autism, we have it in different severity. So we have some that are high functioning, and it doesn't mean that they have less challenges, but the way most time their cognitive ability is higher than some individuals living with autism. So there are different kind of ways they exhibit the way the signs, you know. So we won't just assume that because I met one child with autism, that's the same way every other child with autism will exhibit the signs of autism. And the same goes for a child with Down syndrome, the same goes for a person with physical impairment, the same goes for a person with learning disability. So getting to understand what is going on and how this person feels will give us better ways of helping them, or even showing them love in any kind of way. So they don't want pity. Most times they don't want you to pity them. There's a saying that is in the disability world that says nothing about me without me. So you need to know what is going on with me before you can talk about me or do anything that would affect me. I need to let you know what I'm going through. So I decided to divert a little bit to explain what disability is and the best way to understand what individuals with disability are going through before we can think of providing help for them or showing them love. Because sometimes when you think you're showing them love, you're actually belittling them. You're belittling their skills and ability. So the best way to help or to show love to an individual living with disabilities, to understand what they are going through, speaking with them and knowing the right word to use with them, not assuming that they always need your help. You know, get down to research, understand what they're going through, speak with them, and then to be easier to show them love. Now I want to go to this aspect that actually touched me very much, which is the Eros kind of love. You know, most times I think and I'm wondering why I have a lot of beautiful friends living with disability. Oh my God, they're beautiful. And when I say they're beautiful, they are beautiful. And I still love intelligent men living with disabilities. And I'm wondering, in their 40s, in their 50s, marriage age, I mean, that they're fit for marriage, you know. And I'm wondering, why are they not in relationship? Why are they not married? And I got to speak with some of them, and I realized that a lot of people think that disability cuts them away from having good relationship or having feelings for the opposite sex. So people would rather not see the love, they would rather see the disabilities. And for those that have gone beyond that, some of my friends who are married living with disabilities, I am so excited for them. I see the way they live and I'm like, wow, this is actually possible. I've seen them, I've related with them, and when they speak about their love, the love that they share, I'm like, everyone needs to listen to this. And I said to myself that after this episode, we're going to have to I'm going to have to invite individuals living with disabilities who are married, who are in love, who are in relationship, and are doing so well despite the disabilities. So they have not allowed disabilities to be in the way. And when I hear the stories of those who are not in relationship, or who are not yet married, there's a two-way thing, and I'm going to try and explain what they've said to me, and I'm going to actually try to throw in some of my own my idea or my point of view, and let's see how we could actually weigh these things and see how individual disability can enjoy love without being discriminated against. So some of my friends who are married living with disability, they're doing fantastic, they're doing well, they have kids. I know quite a number of them, you know, and what I saw with their spouses is that they look beyond the disabilities. A disability doesn't make somebody less intelligent, it doesn't make the person less emotional, it doesn't make the person less of a wife or an husband material. It's just an understanding of what the person's weaknesses is, or what is affected, what is that person's challenge, and knowing where to come in as the person's spouse. So for example, if I know that my spouse, so this, I'm just speaking on behalf of some of my friends I've spoken with, and they're married or in relationships, I'm like, how are you coping? Because I know that you have to pay more attention to certain things. I mean, even those who are not living with disabilities that are married, they have their challenges. But for those that are married, for example, I have a friend who is on wheelchair and she's married, and there are times that the child wants her to throw him up, and because of the way she can't really jump up with the child. So I'm wondering, how do you do it? And she's like, my husband, we understand these things. My husband understands that. So each time the child is, and the baby, I mean, the child does not really, he's not yet communicating. And she said, my husband goes for that, and then it shows him up. And as he grows up, we're going to explain to him why that is, you know. And that's, I mean, it just shows that there's a bond. The husband understands what's going on. I would not say, oh, throw the child up. Or if I have another friend who they're married also, and she's also on wheelchair, and the husband is like a personal assistant, a PA. How romantic is that, you know, having your husband as your PA, and not in a derogatory way. They understand each other, they respect each other, but it will be there to ensure that she's comfortable with her mobility. And you know, for me, I mean, that's so sweet, that's so beautiful. The other things that they might need to help one another. So from my interaction with them, all they kept on saying, we have come to understand our weaknesses, and have come to understand our strengths, and then we complement each other. Another thing that some people do is they marry within the disability community. So the person living with Down syndrome get married to another person living with autism, and this, we see that a lot in developed worlds. The most important thing is that we need to understand that there's something called independent living skills. So they need to go to understand grooming and self-hygiene. They need to understand how to iron, cook their own food and all of that. And if that is also a challenge, they could have support staff who would help them. So I read of a story of a guy who needed help with his bathing, and his personal carer was a lady, so she washed him up and cleaned his private part and all of that, because he was not mobile. And when he was getting married, he needed to a lady who was going to, I mean, of course she understood that, and then she was going to take over taking care of his private body, you know, his private part, you know. So they needed to have that discussion with his carer. Look, now this is my private, I know you have been the one cleaning me up all this while, but then I have a wife now, and she has to do this, only I has to do that. So all of this understanding, getting real with what is going on, would encourage marriages among individuals with disabilities, not looking at yourself as an individual with disability, understanding your strength. I mean, there are a lot of people living, I met a professor living with disability, you know, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's married with children, but most time we just look at disability and so this person is blind. It can't, what is good about marrying a blind person, or what is good about marrying a person on a wheelchair, or marrying a person with autism. And that's why we always use the person's first language. This person first before the disability. So the person who is visually impaired, a child living with autism, a woman living with Down syndrome, is first a woman. Every skill, everything that a woman should have as a woman, this person has it first before the disability. So I'm now coming back to the Eros kind of love, which is the romantic love. And of course, it's very important that we know that individuals with disability have the right to marry, to love, and to be loved, to be in relationship. But what we need to know first is we need to understand, just the way it is in every relationship, in every marriage. I'm not a marriage guru, thank God for a good marriage, but you know, we have times, I mean, most marriages you have the ups and downs, but the most important thing is to know. So somebody would say, as he said, like a slang, say major on your major and minor on your minor. What are those things that you can look out, you can do away with, and it's not a big deal to you? Then it doesn't matter. Look at those strengths in the person. Look at those things that will make your home a blessed home, that will make your relationship a good one. I remember reading a story about a couple who were dating, and the lady was not, she was not living with disability, and the man is living with a disability. And each time they walk around there, people are calling her names such as gold diggers, calling her, oh, I know there's something in it for her, maybe she has been paid to do this and all of that. And she was like, this is a human being first. The fact that is living with cerebral palsy or living with physical impairment doesn't mean it's less of a human being. I remember there's this popular motivational speaker His name is Nick. Yes, Nick. And he's leaving just his limbs, just his body. I think his limbs are the lower parts of his lower limbs are very small, and his upper limbs are very just a little one. And he's doing so well. He's happily married. None of his kids is living with disabilities. There are a lot of people who are visually impaired, happily married, and the kids. Well, most time people think, oh, when I marry this person, my children will be living. Please get information about disabilities, and let's make the world a better place. People with disabilities have a lot to offer, and I'm not doing an advert or begging anyone right now. We have a lot of sweet individuals. I met a beautiful lady living with deaf on Friday. She's super intelligent. She's beautiful. I don't know if she's in any relationship, but she was telling us her experience. Like, say people call her prostitute just because she's deaf. And I'm wondering, what makes her a prostitute just because she's deaf? That mindset, we look at people with, we just have our opinion about people, particularly individuals living with disability. We need to get rid of that. We need to understand what these individuals with disability can offer. We need to understand how super intelligent they can be, how sweet they can be. We need to understand that they also deserve love. They have the right to marry and to be married, to be in a relationship. They have the right to romantic lives, and they have a lot to offer. I've seen a lot of individuals with autism. Oh my God, you need to see their drawings, you need to see their artwork, you need to see their poems. What more could you ask for? Some of them are actually even doing, I've seen an individual with Down syndrome who is a lawyer. So people are like, what can they do? What's a good thing about them? The truth is that they are first human beings. Give them a chance. Do not pity them. Understand what they're going through. And if you're in a relationship with someone with a disability, congratulations, well done. I've seen several beautiful relationships, and I just thought to mention it that a lot of good things can come out of a relationship with a person with disability. They are as able as we are. The only thing is that inability to do one thing or the other. Like, so when we talk about Eris kind of love, the romantic kind of love, some people are like, oh, if I get married to an individual, I won't have a child. They are not sexually active, we can't have children. That's not true. We just have this belief, and we just sit in our own little world and in our little world without reaching out to these individuals, to these beautiful souls, and seeing the best out of them. Like I said, I'm not an individual living with disabilities. I'm not married to anybody living to a person living with a disability. I'm going to have to invite my friends living with disabilities who are happily married to tell you their experiences. Some have been bitter experiences, and then finally they got into beautiful experiences. Some have been very beautiful experiences from the onset, and some people have actually made up their mind that they're not going to get into relationships because of the way people look down at them, thinking they can amount to nothing. But that is not true. So again, in the spirit of what it is being Valentine season, and our topic is love and disability, I am saying to all of us authoritatively that individuals with disability have a lot of love to give out, and they deserve love. Now, before I go on and round up what I'm trying to say, something came to mind recently, and I just feel that we have been too quiet on the issue of love, sex, and disabilities, and that's what is at part of the book I'm putting together and will be coming out in April, which I've titled Love and Special Needs. And one of the reasons I put out that topic is because I was at a gathering some time ago. Actually, I went to speak to some parents of children with disability in a state, somewhere, I think it was Ibadan or your state, or one of those states. And a parent said to me, when we're talking about disabilities and puberty, and she said to me that I have a teenage son, and he's getting aware, he's getting, how teenage years can be, the hormones, and the child begins to have erections and all of that. And she's so scared, she doesn't even know how to speak. And this child can hear and he can speak. He's on the wheelchair because he's living with CP. And she said, I don't even know what to say to him. I don't know how to explain to him. The school they're not saying anything to him about this. So sometimes he just begin to masturbate. I'm so scared of leaving his younger sister, who is just 3 year old, at home with him. I'm afraid he will rape his sister. And I'm like, oh my God, what are you doing? He said, I don't even know how to communicate this to the child. You can imagine that for a teenager who doesn't understand what puberty is, and nobody is willing to explain this to the child. Of course, it's going to have it's going to misunderstand what that is all about. He might not be able to experience healthy relationship and what is love all about. We talk about different kind of love, but it's going to have a distorted understanding of what love is if we do not explain that aspect to that child, his sexuality to him. So I just thought to keep this in also. We need to, as parents of children living with special needs, and we need to find ways to communicate to our children what puberty is, what sexuality is, what sex is, what love is, the kind of love, the way to show love. And yes, I think this is one good thing to also think about when you have young children living with disability. When you have, and this is to parents, this is to teachers. How are we communicating love to these children? How are we communicating their sexuality to them? How are we communicating puberty to them? We need to understand all of these things. We need to read up. Once the book is out in April, I'll let you all know how to. Of course, it's going to be in different online stores. It's going to be in stores in Nigeria. But then I want us to begin to think of how we can, from the onset, like we always say, early intervention is key. The foundation of love, the foundation of true love, the foundation of showing empathy, the foundation of showing filial kind of love, the foundation of showing the storge kind of love, the foundation of showing the agape kind of love is helping our children with disability to understand who they are, their sexuality, how to show respect for other sex, how to communicate their emotions in the right way. And then as they begin to go into young adults, how to be in a healthy relationship, understanding who they are. As I speak to you, I just remember the lady that I met on Friday, who's deaf. That's what she's deaf. And when she was signing to me and it was being interpreted to me, I'm like, wow, I had lots of questions for her. How did you get this confidence? How did you not lose your self-esteem? She's an orphan, she's deaf, she had a lot of challenges, but she was so confident of herself. Any man who's going to have that lady as a wife is so blessed. She's so confident of herself. She knew who she was, she knew what she wanted in life, what she wanted in a relationship, and that's why I said to discuss this topic on love and disability. There's so much to discuss on this, but I just thought, in the spirit of Valentine, let's look at the various kind of love that's generally known, which is the storge kind of love, the filial kind of love, the agape kind of love, and the eros kind of love. Which, of course, for the young adults and for the adults who are hoping to be in relationship, understanding who you are first and not wanting someone else to love you. You need to love yourself first before someone else can show you love. So as individuals with disability, let's learn to love ourselves first. As parents of individuals with disability, let's learn to show love to our children. Let's learn to build their self-esteem. Let's show them how to fight for themselves. Let's help them to do away with sexual abuses. Let's strengthen them. Let's give them the power and the voice to fight for themselves, so that they can be in a healthy relationship where they will appreciate themselves and be able to show love to their spouses, to their friends, and to their loved ones. Again, for me, this is not the end of this topic on finding love with special, which I've titled Love and Disabilities. I'm going to bring in individuals who have had sweet relationship, who have had relationship and have been burnt or have been heartbroken. They'll come share their experiences either on this on this platform of Finding Up with Specialists, or on our online radios, or on our real-time radio. And then as individuals, as a society, we'll find ways to actually make sure that these individuals are included in every sphere of life, beyond the access to buildings, access to health, to education, about relationship and marriage and family life. So until I come your way again, I remain Lola Aneke. Please drop your comments, your questions regarding this topic, love and disability, which happens to be episode 19 of Finding Out with Special Needs. And I will be more than happy to answer your questions. If I'm not able to, then I'll make it real by getting my friends or those or individuals in relationship when it comes to issue of love, or even parents who would have been able to strengthen their kids on how to express love in the right kind of way. Thank you so much for watching this episode, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Do have a blessed week. Thank you.